Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youths and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. Is 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor? Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery? Why they whitewash our history? Keep dividing is their plan. All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. It's an ugly thing to do. It's a fairly common thing to do, but it's a really ugly thing to do when you're losing an argument, when you cannot defend your position, when you can't defend the substance of what you believe, you attack your opponent. You attack him personally. And it's often said that Samuel Johnson, 18th century British author, he of that famous quote, patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. I've always interpreted that to be that when that's the last place you go when you're losing, when you're up against it, man. You call into question your opponent's patriotism. It's the last place a scoundrel will go. It's the last place a coward will go. When they can't defend what they believe, when they can't defend what's happening, they go after that guy's patriotism. They call into question his patriotism. Questioning one's patriotism is the fucking last refuge of a scoundrel. And I have found in the past now 2 weeks since Donald Trump launched this war against Iran, a war of choice, that those of us who oppose this war, those of us who oppose this war, those of us who believe this war is illegal, unconstitutional, stupid, wrong, those of us who oppose this war increasingly are being accused of rooting against America, hoping America loses. Questioning our patriotism, those of us who oppose this war on whatever grounds, What I'm hearing more and more of lately is Trump and his cheerleaders, his media cheerleaders, his Republican cheerleaders, questioning the patriotism of those of us who oppose this war. Like it's not possible to oppose this war, to think and believe it was the stupid, wrong thing to do. It was an illegal thing to do. Like to say it's not possible to believe that and still be a patriotic American. To oppose this war, many MAGA cheerleaders are saying right now, is to hate on America, is to hope America is going to lose this war. Again, that's bullshit. It's ugly. It's a pretty despicable charge. It is like the last refuge of a scoundrel. It is the last attack that a MAGA cheerleader of Trump's, who's all in on this war, this is the last place they'll go. It's like the lowest you can go to attack those of us who oppose the war. Well, you hate America. You're not patriotic. You hate America. You want America to lose. It is a despicable charge to make, because it's really possible to oppose this war and love America. It's really possible to oppose this war and root for America. It's really possible to oppose this war and not want American service members to be killed and not want America to lose anything. There's this guy on CNN, Scott Jennings. You may know of him. In a nutshell, here's who Scott Jennings is. Back in my Tea Party days, Scott Jennings was what we call an establishment fuck, an establishment hack. Scott Jennings has always been a GOP consultant, a GOP, a Republican Party establishment consultant guy. That's all he's been. He worked for Mitch McConnell for so many years. He's always been part of the Republican establishment, and he's always just been a consultant hack. Never a true believer in anything, never an ideologue. Scott Jennings opposed Trump. Scott Jennings believed then, probably still believes, Trump was bad for the country and bad for the Republican Party. Scott Jennings, after January 6th, said Donald Trump should leave the scene. We should never hear from Donald Trump again. But then Scott Jennings discovered something. Donald Trump wasn't going anywhere. Donald Trump was going to remain the leader of the Republican Party. Donald Trump was going to be the nominee in 2024. And Scott Jennings realized that was going to take place. So he's on CNN. So for him to do well, for him to stay on CNN, for him to make money and grow his audience, Scott Jennings decided, I got to become a big MAGA voice. That's where the gold is, baby. There's gold in those MAGA hills. That's where the money is. So Scott Jennings, in a nanosecond, became a MAGA cheerleader. It's not who he is. He was an establishment fuck. He despised the Tea Party. He despised MAGA. He despised Trump. But like so many others from my former political party, Jennings realized that if I want to stay relevant, if I want to stay on TV, if I want to make money, if I want to write a book that sells, I got to be a big MAGA guy. And that's what Jennings became. And that's what he is now. And it's worked. Scott Jennings is very popular. He's probably Donald Trump's biggest cheerleader on TV. He's got his own radio show now because he's Mr. MAGA now. It's paid off for him financially, big time. But he's a fraud and he's a fake. What he is Scott Jennings. He's everything that's wrong with our politics today because he says shit he doesn't believe. And he tries to score points. And he tries to secure viral hits. He's an actor. Scott Jennings is an actor playing a role on CNN. He says shit he doesn't believe. And he says it really well. He says it with a smile. He says it with a smirk. He's playing a role. I can't think of anything more destructive to our politics today. Jennings was on last night. And Jennings got into it with someone, Keith Boykin, another commentator who opposes Trump's war. And Jennings went there. This is Jennings' new talking point now, to question the patriotism of anybody who opposes the war. Keith, do we have that clip?
In our possession?
No.
So that's going to be a key question.
And that's part of the problem. This whole mission has been a disaster. And I think it's an unmitigated.
For who? Iran?
It's an
I agree with
unmitigated
you. That's what you
disaster.
think.
It's an unmitigated disaster for the world, for the United States of America. Maybe it's funny to you, but
It's funny to me that you're hoping that we lose this war to Iran.
Stop right there. Hey, Keith, stop right
What is
there.
it a disaster for?
Stop right there. I'll come back. Keep that up for a sec. What's funny to me, Jennings said to Keith Boykin, is that you're hoping America loses. Keith Boykin right there on the right said nothing even remotely close to that. He said the war's a disaster for America and the world. And he was beginning to explain why it's a disaster when Scott Jennings started smiling, laughing, and smirking. And Boykin there said to Jennings, I don't think this is funny. This isn't funny. And Jennings said, no, what's funny is you're hoping America loses. You're hoping America loses. Hey, Keith, you hate America. You're hoping America loses. Boykin never said that. But that's Jennings' talking point. Remember, Scott Jennings is playing a role. And he's Mr. MAGA now. So he's got to be all in to support Trump. So he's got to go to that place. This is his talking point now. He's not alone. He just does this really effectively. He's trying to shut up people who oppose the war, and he's trying to shut them up by calling into question their patriotism. Hey, Keith, you're hoping America loses. What an ugly, despicable lie. Continue, Keith.
it's a disaster for the
Humanity.
170 school children who were killed by our U.S. Tomahawk missile. It's a disaster. It's a disaster for the. It's a disaster for the seven U.S. soldiers. The 7 U.S. soldiers who were killed.
Your
in
wish
this mission.
casting an American disaster is amazing.
Stop. That's enough, Keith. Thank you. Anti-American, he said. You're wishing America loses. It's not the important point. I've been on Abby Phillipps' show a few times. I like and respect Abby Phillip a lot. I think the format of that show is stupid. They got like 50 people who sit at a table, and they give that guy, Scott Jennings, a platform. Think about it. This is what's so fucked up and wrong about these cable news shows now. CNN knows that Scott Jennings is playing a role. CNN knows that Scott Jennings says things he does not believe, yet they give him a big fucking platform to do so. I mean that's problem number one, right? Like I spend my life these past 8 years, engaging in conversations with everybody and anybody. Anybody who agrees with me, disagrees with me, doesn't matter to me at all. My one rule, though, is you got to be an honest broker. If you're not an honest broker, I'm not sitting down with you. Like someone who genuinely believes that Donald Trump is the greatest, that everything Trump is doing with ICE, they really believe it's the great, smart, appropriate thing for us to do. I'll sit down with that person in a heartbeat and have a respectful conversation if I know and believe they're honest brokers. They really, really believe in what Trump is doing with ICE. But I'm not going to sit down with somebody who's going to say that, but they really don't believe it, like a Scott Jennings. Why sit down with a Scott Jennings who doesn't believe what he says? What's the purpose of that? How does that advance anything? And by the way, I wish I had been on the show last night because I'd have punched Scott Jennings. Don't you dare fucking question my patriotism. But it's that. This is the bigger point. This is what Trump and his cheerleaders are doing now. They're losing. They're losing their case for this war. They never had a case for this war. They never made a case for this war. They don't know what the hell they're doing right now. And the American people rightly don't support this war. They don't support the war because the case for the war has never been made. A legit case by the President of the United States has never been made. He's never tried to make it. And for people who are paying attention every hour of every day, right? The shit changes. Here's why we did it. Here's what's going on. You listen to Trump every day. This is what you get every hour. The war's over. We've won. We're winning. We're kicking ass. We got to keep fighting. Tomorrow, man, we're going to blow them away. Is it over or not? Yeah, the war's over. Well, it's not really over yet. This is just the beginning. Iran's going to see a lot of shock and awe next week. Excuse me, you said it was over. And on and on and on it goes. Just lie after lie, bullshit after bullshit. Is it any surprise the American people oppose what we're doing? What Trump chose to do? No, it's not a surprise at all. And it's not a surprise at all, knowing this, as Trump and his cheerleaders do. They now have put out the word, fuck it. Just call people who oppose this war unpatriotic bastards. Just say that, Scott Jennings. Say they want America to lose, Scott Jennings. Don't talk about the substance of the war. Just call them, you're anti-America. You want America to lose. Just say that over and over and over. Again, where we began the show today. That's where scoundrels go when they can't defend their position. Scott Jennings, even the actor he is, cannot defend this war. So what does he do? He questions the patriotism of those of us who oppose it. That's the lowest you can go to call someone an American hater, to question someone's patriotism. That's like about the ugliest shot you can take. It is the last refuge of a scoundrel. So as ugly as it is, and as comically ugly as people like Scott Jennings are, take heart, because they've gone to this place They've said that people like me opposed the war because we're rooting against America. They're saying this because they're losing, because they know this war is a disaster and they're trying to find a way out. They don't know how to get out. They still haven't made a case. There's no end game. They're up against the wall. And so up against the wall, just say the other guy ain't a patriot. Fuck Scott Jennings. Hey, when you think about it, when you look at the last couple of weeks of this war, I mean, just play this out for a moment. Trump launches a war against Iran. Then Russia gets involved and helps Iran locate and kill American service members. Trump never condemns Putin for doing that. And then yesterday, believe it or not, Trump actually rewarded Russia by lifting sanctions on Russian oil. Thanks, Keith. Can't make this shit up. Yesterday, Donald Trump lifted sanctions on Russian oil to offset the Iran war price surge, right, that he created. But again, just walk down the road with me. Keep that up. Keep that headline up for a sec, Keith. Trump started this war. Russia gets involved. And our intelligence, the reporting is clear and overwhelming that Russian intelligence, Russia is siding with Iran, and Russian intelligence is helping Iran locate our service members in the region and trying to kill them. Putin's doing that right now. What does Trump do? Knowing what Russia's doing. Russia's trying to kill American service members right now as we speak. What does Trump do? He rewards Putin. Putin's trying to kill American service members in the region. Trump rewards Putin, lifts the sanctions on Russian oil. Thanks, Keith. Tell me again, anybody out there, tell me again that Donald Trump does not work for Vladimir Putin. Somebody tell me that. Tell me again. I'm all ears. I'm listening. Russia right now is trying to kill our soldiers, kill our men and women in uniform. Russia right now is trying to do that, and Donald Trump fucking lifts the sanctions on Russian oil. Hands Russia billions of dollars. It's bad enough that Trump won't condemn Russia for trying to kill American service members, but now he goes and rewards Russia for trying to kill our boys and girls in uniform. I was talking about this with Jim Acosta yesterday. Jim Acosta is fantastic. He right now is the face of independent media. Independent media, man, needs to be supported. You need to check out and watch Jim Acosta every single day. Watch his independent media show. It's the best. Acosta and I were talking about this yesterday. I told Jim Acosta, I used to go on CNN a lot. I used to go on MSNBC, now MS Now a lot. I don't go on as much anymore. And I know, because I've been told, I know I don't get asked on as much anymore because I say stuff like this. Trump's a traitor. Trump works for Putin. If I were on a CNN set today, and this topic came up, Trump lifting economic sanctions on Russian oil, and I'm on the CNN show now with a couple talking heads, and they're trying to analyze what Trump did and why he did it, I'd just say, what the fuck? What the fuck? Trump works for Putin. My God, Putin's trying to get our service members killed, and Trump rewards him. Trump works for Putin. He always has. He's a traitor to this country. The president of the United States is a traitor to America. I say that kind of thing when I go on CNN and MS Now because I believe it. But CNN doesn't want to hear that stuff. That's a little too out there. CNN would rather stay within kind of the 40-yard lines and have Republican talking head and Democratic talking head trying to analyze the specifics of what Trump said or what Trump did. No, Trump lied, I would say. No, Trump works for Putin, I would say. No, see, Joe, when you say stuff like that, that's outside of the 40-yard lines where we got to keep things. Corporate media. Fuck it. I'm going to keep saying what I believe. And I believe this. Anybody who attacks a synagogue in America because you don't like what Israel did, you're anti-Semitic. You hate Jews. That is anti-Semitism. You don't like what Israel's doing. You don't like Netanyahu. You don't like the Israeli government policy, and you take it out on a synagogue in America. You take it out on Jews living in America. You know what? You hate Jews. You are an anti-Semite, and you got to be condemned. That is anti-Semitism, pure and simple. There's no beating around the bush what happened at that synagogue in Michigan yesterday. Somebody targeted a synagogue in America because he didn't like what Israel was doing. That's anti-Semitism, period. That's hatred of Jews, period. And I'm sorry. I hear this shit all the time. Like, oh, I wish we wouldn't conflate Israel and Jews. Hey, Joe, I oppose Israel, but I really like Jewish people. I'm sorry. Fuck it. You can't have that. You target a synagogue in America. You don't like Jews. You're attacking Jews. I'm sorry. You say, and by the way, you say that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. You hate Jews. You got to be specific. You got to say, I don't like Netanyahu. I don't like what Netanyahu's doing. I don't like what the Israeli government is doing right now. That's all fair game. Have at it, right? I love America. I don't like what Trump's doing. I don't like this government. I love America. You can be the same way. You can question Netanyahu. You can say Netanyahu needs to go. I believe that. You can question Israeli government, plain and simple, but you question the very existence of the state of Israel, and you target synagogues anywhere in this world for what the Israeli government is doing. You are an ugly anti-Semite. That is the definition of anti-Semitism. You hate Jews. We all need to call that out. Because this is growing. The attack yesterday in Michigan, this is growing. There's going to be more of this. There's going to be more of this. Opposition to the war in Iran, I get it. I oppose the war in Iran. That didn't give anybody a right to commit an act of terrorism here in America, like what happened at Old Dominion yesterday. That guy, that terrorist, right, targeting cadets at Old Dominion because of what America is doing in the war, what Israel was doing against Lebanon, against Hezbollah. Same thing. Hey, I've got one more today. Keith, we have that headline about the Maryland dude. This shouldn't go on in America. This should never happen in America. DC police called a Maryland man, Jose Argueta. Washington, D.C. police call this guy, tell him they found his stolen car, come down to the station to pick up your stolen car. So Jose goes down to the local D.C. station, and he's met by ICE agents who grab him, take him into custody, and detain him for a month. That's utterly wrong. That's utterly against the law. That's the utter antithesis of any notion of due process. That's just despicable. That's horrible. That's wrong. Jose's car was stolen late last year. He reported it. A month later, he gets a call from the DC police. Come down, pick up your car. Nope, he comes down and ICE agents grab him. There's an investigation. Right now, it looks like local cops were working with ICE agents on this to lie to this guy, to ambush this guy, to violate every single right he had to detain him, violate all of Washington, D.C.'s sanctuary policies and laws. But just the narrative of this story. You get your car stolen like Jose did. You do the right thing, you report it. And then DC police lie to you? All a ruse to help ICE grab you? Think of how many times this is happening every day, all over the country. This fucking shouldn't happen in America. Damn right there ought to be an investigation. And Jose Argueta, man, needs to sue somebody, needs to take this case to court immediately. Everybody, thanks this Friday for listening. Paxis.app is right here. Our app, our tool to help immigrants like Jose and citizens fight back lawfully against ICE. It's out there now. We're putting it out wherever we can. Please go to Paxis.app, check out this tool, play with this tool, ask it a bunch of questions. And then most importantly, send this link, send this tool to anybody you know in your community, in your city, who would benefit from having this Know Your Rights tool in their hands so that they can lawfully fight back against what ICE is doing. Paxis.app. Check it out. My Substack, Social Contract with Joe Walsh, .substack.com. I know there are 1 billion people who have Substacks now. I get it. And I know everybody's asking you, hey, become a paid subscriber, $5 a month, $6 a month, $8 a month. Right? We're all doing the same damn thing. It's too much. Like if I'm the average person out there and I'm plopping down $5-6 a month to subscribe to 10 people's different Substacks, man, that ain't nickels and dimes. That adds up. And I'm a lousy promoter. I'm a lousy marketer. Ask my wife, ask everybody who works with me and for me. I just don't like to do it. I have a hard time doing it. So all I'm going to say is I have a weirdly unique voice because I've had a weirdly unique political journey from the Tea Party to the Democratic Party in like 12 years. That journey is reflected in everything I write, say, and do. And all of that stuff is on my Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. So check it out. Become a subscriber. Become an unpaid subscriber. And if you like the shit you see, the shit you read, the stuff you look at, the videos we put out, if you got room, become a paid subscriber. There, done. I'm done marketing myself. But always send me an email if there's anything on your mind. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. That's all one word. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good weekend. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.